G'day viewers, I'm a bit late to the party. Sorry, had a bit much on. Anyway, it's time for the February 2023 Train Sim World 3 roadmap. As usual, I read this to improve the accessibility so that people who don't have the time or are unable to read it for themselves can still get the information. So let's get on with it. I'm going to scroll past the TLDR bit because we want to get into the meat. And here we are at the meat. We have the Train Sim World Spring Summit announcements. If you don't know about this stuff, what rock have you been under? Anyway, Northeast Corridor, New York, Trenton, releasing on February 21st. That is not far away, 11 days. Alongside Amtrak's Acela and the Union Pacific Heritage Bundle, this will take you on a journey from New York Penn to Trenton, New Jersey, featuring the all-new New Jersey Transit ALP 46 with multi-levels and the return of the ACS 64. This time with the much-anticipated Metroliner cab car in tow. Sunnyside Yard is also included. So the Metroliner cab car was in TSW 2020, what am I saying? And disappeared, never to be seen again. Well, it's back, so it wasn't never at all. It's a bit like Final Fantasy, it never is. There's always another one. Yeah. What else would I have to say about that? I had something else to say about that. Oh yeah, New York Penn to Trenton. Where did Philadelphia go? Oh. Anyway, I'll put up with Trenton. Amtrak's Acela will layer onto the route as well, running between New York Penn and Trenton, stopping at Newark Penn. Some will also call additionally at Metro Park too. We have bolstered the amount of stopping Acela services on the route to ensure that you can experience it for yourself, i.e. you can find one. So the Acela is a separate DLC, and it's homed for Boston with scenarios, and it's homed for this one, New York Trenton, with scenarios. So the route comes with the ALP 46 and the Amtrak cars, and does it come with the others? Yes, the NJ Transit ALP 46 with its cars. Very good. Okay, looking at pictures. Yes, the NJT Transit locomotive looks like a German locomotive, but it's not in Germany. There's the Amtrak cab car with its Tigger stripes. Where is Winnie the Pooh? That's what you've got to wonder. Why have I got a February roadmap thing at the bottom of the screen? Let's get rid of that. There's the ALP 46 Amtrak pulling its Metroliner cars, crossing over a swing bridge. I wonder if they still use it. I wonder how the power lines work. Interesting. It's the NJ Transit ALP 46 and its cars behind it. Looks cool. And a close-up of the Amtrak cab car. This will be previewed as well as the Acela and the UP Heritage Collection next week. So keep your eyes peeled on Railfan TV. Excellent. There's a whole bunch of bundles. So if you haven't got Train Sim World 3 and you want US passenger or freight, there's a bunch of bundles on Steam that you can buy if you wish. Ignore the pricing for the Acela and the Heritage things by themselves that are listed in those bundles. They are incorrect. They will not be that expensive. Relax. It's okay. Shh. It never happened. Anyway, here is the Acela number 2018. There are 20 of these train sets. Here it is cruising through the fast track in the middle of a station. It's got a bit of tilt on by the look of it there. It must have just come off a corner. 2038 coming out of Boston in the snow. Acela 2012 sitting in... Is that Boston? I think it is Boston. No, it's not Boston, is it? No, it's the other one. Ooh. There's the inside, which looks remarkably Acela-like, having been in one. It's like a poor man's plane, but it's long. And when they crash, they just fall over. The Acela 2010. Another evening or early morning shot. Probably evening, I think, with the purples. And as I said, it's home in Boston Sprinter, which will have been upgraded to Train Sim World 3 Skies and Lighting. That's the TOD4 lighting system, as well as an updated signalling system. More importantly, Boston gets the updates for free, not the Acela. It gets the updates to the route for free, so it'll update to the TSW3 TOD4 system Skies, and you get the new signalling system, which will be really good because while the old one was okay, there were a few places, well, to put it bluntly, it sucked. You might get stuck doing 20 miles an hour because it got confused. Or you rolled backwards or something like that momentarily when you started leaving a station. My favourite. Anyway, that's fixed. Union Pacific Heritage Collection, featuring 6 historic fallen flag liveries for the Union Pacific SD70 ACE and 6 new scenarios for an updated with Train Sim World 3 Skies and Lighting Sherman Hill route. This is a great pack for any US freight enthusiast. With all the armour yellow on the route, it was a little same. I was thinking bland, but that's not actually fair. Just same. It's not bland. It actually is a bit of a fun route. I mean, I'm not a big fan of long haul US freight, but I actually kind of find Sherman Hill fun because it's a bit hard. So it's cool. Anyway, there's the Katy, which is the Kansas City one, I think, from memory. There's another one of the selection. I'd love to tell you what it was, but I don't know. I should have looked it up. Sorry. There's the Rio Grande version. I personally like the Rio Grande steam trains, but that's just me. It's still a cool railway, cool logo. The logo has been largely unchanged for a very, very long time. Sadly, it's gone. Oh well. We got 2 different ones flying along on the same train there. Kind of cool. I wonder if they ever turn up on a train where there's 2 of the same one. So we've got Southern Pacific, Northwestern, Katy, Rio Grande, and the Western, and whatever the blue one is. I told you I'm not much into US freight. Sorry. There's the Western Pacific one, UP 1983. UP 1982. Still doesn't really help me what that logo is, does it? Oh well. Just yell at me in the comments, please. Deliveries include, it'll tell us here. You watch. UP number 1982 represents the blue shades of Missouri Pacific. There you go. Harkening back to the streamliner days of the 1940s, mixed with their logo from the 1960s. Art Deco on display ahead of the heaviest of duties. UP 1983 is found in the green, silver, and orange blend of Western Pacific, the railroad's final colour scheme from 1979. The West's most popular railroad, now seen across US territory. I just said railroad. UP number 1988 changes tones with a duofold red experience and a white star upon the nose in celebration of Missouri, Kansas, Texas, otherwise known as the Katy, a Midwestern rail legend known on the Continental Divide. The other big white star was the Titanic. I hope the Katy doesn't sink anywhere. But anyway, that's okay. UP number 1989 remembers the legendary Denver and Rio Grande Western, paying tribute to those who went everywhere the hard way, with silhouetted mountains over the yellow and grey sides. If it comes through on the recording, excuse my neighbour who's building a new roof because his roof went, so bye-bye. UP number 1995 commemorates the diversity of the Chicago and Northwestern, a railroad which coined the phrase safety first. Yellow streaks bordered by green accents make up this forward-thinking scheme. UP number 1996 incorporates the colours of Southern Pacific's most beautiful trains in the world, the famous daylight trains, wrapped with red and orange stripes interrupted by accents of white. The final merger for UP bringing early morning shades to the rails of Wyoming. It's probably the only shade in Wyoming. No trees. There is a small chance any one of these will substitute into the regular Sherman Hill timetable too. This will also launch on February the 21st. It's going to be a busy streaming weekend after that, isn't it? As well as the new lighting and skies coming with Sherman Hill update are some visual improvements too, which we thought we'd show you. First up, the scenery on the turntable. So the first shot is the Train Sim World 2 version. Then we have the Train Sim World 3 version, which appears to have some additional huts and some barrels, some bits and pieces hanging around. Does look better. It's the Train Sim World 2 version. Little empty there. There's the other view. Well, actually, they're not huts, are they? They're old rail cars. Cool. And updated shipping container colours to be more prototypical. That's good. More variety of colour in the route is always good. And they're more like reality now. That's good too. Bonus. Nidlertabahn Bad Vilbel to Stockheim, developed by Train Sim Germany, TSG. Featuring the minty green DBB BR628.2, the Dutch Bundesbahn white and mint livery, and set in the early 1990s, this route provides a lovely change of pace, travelling on single track through 13 stations in the German countryside. The TSG team will be providing more details on the route closer to release in articles and live streams. I had a bit of a look at the map, and lots of stations close together, so it's not a fast route. It's probably about the same speed as Somerset, but there's a lot of things going on. So nice short runs, even though they're a bit slow, and you get to see plenty. Just west of Frankfurt stands a pretty large river. Ooh, this is Link Rheinstrecke Main Koblenz, or Left Rhine. It's a focal point of a pretty special railway, the Link Rheinstrecke, coming soon, including the much anticipated DB BR103 and the BR110.3 in Orient livery. So it's just a different red and white livery to the usual bright red from DB. And the minty green, the toothpaste train. Yes, soaking in it, love. Anybody who remembers that ad's clearly an Australian. The TBBR110, which is also in the Orient red livery. So we've had this in the game in the Bremen route, and now we've got it in a slightly different livery. Cool. And the boom gates are still up in that shot. Naughty boom gates. Anyway, it features the DBBR 103 and Deutsche Bundesbahn Transit Europe Express livery, the DBBR 110.3 in Deutschbahn Orient Red, the AVMZ and BVMZ intercity coaches with red band, the N-Wagen coaches, and Karlsruhe Kop cab car in DB white and mint livery. The Schims U708 and Tags 759 freight wagons. I always love the German designations for freight wagons. You never really know what they are until you go and look at them. Unless you're German, then you might know. We can't wait to get this into your hands, and more important information will be shared when we're closer to release, so it's a while away. Midland Mainline Leicester to Derby and Nottingham, developed by Skyhook Games. Is that branches? Ooh. We know this one caused a lot of excitement. We can't wait for you to enjoy what promises to be an excellent route created by our friends at Skyhook Games. Featuring both the East Midlands Trains BR Class 158 Sprinter and the BR Class 43 HST, there will be plenty of fun to be had. So that's the brightly coloured HST in the foreground and the Sprinter in the background. Sprinter's kind of like a bus on wheels, rail wheels. We'll be inviting Skyhook on for our live stream preview of the route and working with them to get you some juicy screenshots for the next roadmap in March. We're itching to get it into your hands. If you've got an itch, you should see a doctor. Peak Forest, Ambergate, Chinley and Buxton. I'm looking forward to this one because it's another steam route. We announced Peak Forest, Ambergate, Chinley and Buxton, our new steam route, a distinctly different, more rural feel than Liverpool Crew, featuring an, i.e. not flat, featuring an LMS Fowler 4F in BR Late Black livery and some of the incredible sights of the Peak District, including the iconic Modsel Viaduct, pictured below. Hope it's not that one. Ah, there we go. That's the viaduct. I notice it hasn't got textures on it yet, so work in progress. You can tell with the diamond cross-hatching. That's what happens when there's no textures on the surface as yet. And you can go for a walk. And as we did in the summit, we mentioned we're partnered with our friends in View App to bring Train Sim to consoles. Tram Sim, sorry, to consoles, and Nomad Games to release Catan Console Edition. Not quite trains. Train Sim World 3 core improvements. A progress summary on the core improvements the teams are working on. This month we have a release date for Add-Ons Manager. Finally! Good news on red light issues and Spirit of Steam SPADs. The Add-Ons Manager, the immortal words in Fat Boy Slim. We've come a long, long way together through hard times and the good. I've been talking too much. And we can tell you the end is in sight. We were hoping to give players a date today, but a couple of final issues mean that we'll come back next week with an update and hopefully a release date. Allowing passengers to mount the content they need on the back end of their console before starting their game session, we have built a system which allows you to retain and play all your PlayStation add-ons without worrying about the 64GB limit for add-ons. We expect this to have a varying positive impact on your console's performance, less crashing predominantly, and with the most positive impact being seen by players of 8th gen consoles with lots of add-ons installed. Wow. Big cough. We will be disabling background add-ons installation with this change, so players will need to restart their game session to see any new content that has been downloading in the background. We are still ironing out the final build for Xbox and PC platforms and will release this when ready. A quick summary on Add-Ons Manager. This will allow PlayStation players who are currently unable to play all their content due to the 64GB add-on limits imposed by Sony, the ability to do so due to some behind-the-scenes wizardry. It will also likely slightly improve the experience of those who are seen crashing on some content too. Red Lights Dispatcher core improvement. It's like hiccups now. What's going on today? Anyway, before Christmas, no, I'll get pimples next. Before Christmas, we talked about a core improvement to the pathing system whereby we program our AI traffic. The team have been beavering away behind the scenes. That explains all those cut down trees on all of those routes. They've all been beavered away. We're in the final stage of getting this into a releasable condition. Testing is underway using our new auto testing system to check if any knock-on issues have been caused. A good example is the 1P16 Didcot Parkway to London Paddington service on Great Western Express, which would see you having a stuck 166 blocking your way. This is one of the services we've confirmed fixed with this improvement. As with Save Game, we believe this core improvement will solve a lot of the pressing issues players have been experiencing and give us the opportunity to press the reset button. If you still experience issues after this improvement, we'll investigate them on a route-by-route basis. Spirit of Steam AI SPAD improvements, single pass at danger. We believe we have a fix that solves AI SPADs caused by AI trains using the turntable, ready to be released in an upcoming patch. It will not hit the pre-American release patch, but hopefully it'll be the one after, so about March probably. A quick note on some areas of the roadmap, we don't have a substantial update for you. So I'll skip them because there's no update. I'll also skip the blah, 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 blah about signals. And I might do an article on signals at some point. Special projects team update. HST livery designer compatibility work is nearly complete and getting this into your hands in a future update. By the way of an update, we wanted to show off some of the fun one of the team has been having. James, our screenshot and liveries king, has pulled it out of the bag. So he's been creating some liveries in the designer. The Intercity 125s look like Hornby trains. Who said that? That one really looks like a Hornby train. I think we all learned that one as a kid. We can also confirm with this release the dreaded 000 numbering bug will be fixed. Other focuses, the team have also put work into upgrading both Boston Providence and Sherman Hill lighting and skies. They're also investigating some route introductions being incompletable, as well as the remaining achievements that are not behaving as intended. The third-party developer partner program update, ScotRail Express, Edinburgh, Glasgow. Thanks for all your post-launch feedback from Edinburgh, Glasgow. We've been working with the team at Rivet to help consolidate your suggestions, and as part of their work on the route, we can confirm they are looking at improving the following. Class 385 setup changes, updated brake responsiveness, improving air brake performance, and making stopping easier. I don't find it that bad, to be honest. Maybe it's a keyboard thing. Increased responsiveness of the CPBC when using hotkeys. That's the combined power and brake controller. Why are we using acronyms, folks? Let's just use words. Moved the contact signaler function to the GSMR, another one, phone for consistency with other TSW trains. AI to player and vice versa handover is now working correctly. Yeah, it was a bit funny, that one. You'd actually get pushed out of your seat sometimes. And if you tried to take over from an AI player, it didn't always work. Train wide doors can no longer be opened while the AI is driving. Boo. Master key is now present after reloading from a save. Handy. Master key now has a turning animation. Consistent. Passenger overcrowding and incorrect orientations have been resolved. They sometimes faced the wrong way in the seats and sometimes sat on each other, which was kind of funny but not exactly E for everyone. The external right cab door key is now accessible. All external keys now animate correctly. Added the camera view specifically for the TMS. That makes it easier to read, I suppose, if you're looking on a lower resolution screen. Removed cameras from trailers and passenger head out. Class 385 audio fixes, running sounds updated, wind noise occluded, improved general audio mix, removed the chime, updated audio inclusion, fixed traction and braking issues, improved transitions for traction mode, notch volumes, implemented inverter related audio FX, updated track joint sounds, improved volumes of running and traction motor sounds. Again, I didn't find the audio on that thing all that bad, to be honest. It was actually quite good. But clearly, they want to make it better. Note, as mentioned, sourcing the audio will require a recording trip. We're in discussions with ScotRail around organising this, so these improvements are all using the existing audio. Like I said, I don't find it that bad. I think it's quite all right. Class 385 art changes. Added caution tape to the inside of a guard panel door, so you don't bang your head on it virtually. Your virtual head in the virtual game on the virtual door. Updated door button graphics to reflect proper graphics. Added inner axle hubs that connect the axles to the bogie frames. Oh, that's handy, otherwise wheels fall off. Updated the first class livery. Added Gaelic branding to the pantograph unit. You're going to have to climb on the roof to see that. Gameplay and infrastructure changes. Improved expected station stop timings for timetable services. Added the Edinburgh Park stop to Dunblane services. Fixed routing for depot moves to and from Queen Street. Fixed the signal emissives. That means they're lights. Added missing neutral section signage. Zzzt. Added missing car stop markers to Haymarket. Route changes. Improved darkness of tunnels along the route. Added additional lighting to Edinburgh, Waverley and surrounding area. Updated lighting at Eastfield Depot. Updated lighting at Queen Street Station. Fixed mixing sessions of overhead line equipment along the route. Updated a station footbridge to add missing underside panelling. Updated a sign on Linlithgow Station to be correct. Implemented 1 o'clock gun at Edinburgh Castle following further discussions. As note, the West Cornwall Steam Rail Tour add-on has been put on hold whilst the Rivet team focus on these improvements. We don't have a release date for these at this stage, but a lot of the above have already been completed and are in a queue for testing. The team are also investigating an issue with PlayStation Players' TMS systems and have submitted a fix for testing. We've mentioned Skyhook's Midland mainline route above, and there's no further news on any of the other partners. Well, there we go. That's it for the roadmap, in fact. So I hope that's been useful for you. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, do all those sorts of fun things, and see you later. Bye.